How you doing, guys? It's Richie. We're going to take a look at Alien vs. Captain America #1. I hate this trade up dress up here. Kind of ruins the cover. And that's why I would pretty much never buy any variants of this. So this is an unusual pairing. H.R. Giger's creation versus Jack Kirby creation. Interesting, different. Would have never expected that. Blah, blah, blah. You guys can read this. The whispers in the cold winds that Baron von Strucker is in search of something that could help the Red Skull tip the scales of history. So this is going way back in time to 1944. World War II was raging on. You know, who did the art on this? Right out the gate, action. Captain America versus some Hydra. He's looking for Strucker. And there's Bucky, old school. So he must bite a poison pill. Kills him so he can't talk him out. It turns him into the Red Skull. That's a pretty crazy panel. I like that. He says, I hate when they do that. Can't be good for our side. Meanwhile, in the Himalayas. What's going on in the Himalayas? This is where Baron von Strucker is hanging out. All the Hydra guys. And so they're looking for this. They've heard about this weapon that could possibly be weaponized. So Baron von Strucker is doing Baron von Strucker stuff and killing people to get information. So he gets one of the locals to take him to this spot that he's looking for. And it says, they consider those who reside in Attilan to be gods. And as such are fearful to disturb them. Hence why they were reluctant to take you. But I will lead them to you and be rewarded, yes? So he's looking for some cash or whatever. But I guess he doesn't understand who he's dealing with. And they're looking at the cave walls and what are those, not the Inhumans, not the New Gods, Eternals. Looks like the Eternals are on the wall. So maybe they're insinuating that the Eternals had something to do with this. Interesting. And there it is. Giger's creations on the wall. Yeah, he shoots the guy for his troubles. This is worry not. He won't be. Excellent, Hans. Now for any loose ends. He kills the guy who took him there. Hopefully you'll do well as a corpse. Good luck, fools. You wanted to see gods, but I took you to meet demons. Things are about to get crazy for them. Good penciling, and I like it. I like the art. I'm not sure who it is. I gotta check. I hate when they don't tell you right at the beginning. Did I miss it somehow? No. 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 Probably at the end. I read this last month. I think this came out. I have #2 over there. And here, I always loved Alien. I had, what was I, 10 years old when it first came out? Right? When did it come out? Maybe 8? A tradition to bury the dead with what killed them. In their case, this was it. And so they don't have any clue, but these corpses have their chests burst open. But if you don't know, you don't know. That's just like, well, what happened when they get shot? And the pods start reacting, as they always do when people get near them. And the face huggers. And man, there's must be hundreds of them in there. And they're popping out, grabbing onto people. What a great creature design, man. Giger was a maniac. Very talented. I should get that big Taschen book. Those giant oversized books. I've shown a few of them. The one for Marvel. I have the one for DC. I have Frazetta. And I have the EC Comics. Taschen makes incredible hardcover books. So I might have to look for that. Too many of them quickly retreat, so they're on the run. That's a great inside shot. Look at that. Eee, what does that remind you of? So Von Strucker's got his hand and he electrifies it before it wraps around his head and starts planting eggs in him. Another great panel. And there, it shows chaos very well. So they're getting out, close it quickly, alive, the only ones. Not for much longer, not after we face the Red Skull for this failure. He says, failure, on the contrary, the Skull will indeed have his weapon. So Strucker was able to grab the one that he had electrocuted. I like the hand, the way they did the hand. I always liked Von Strucker. I thought he was a great character. I loved it in Mike Zeck's run way back when I was a kid. Here we go. Frank Thierry. Stefano Raffaele. I don't know who that is. Colors by Niraj Menon. So I guess they outsourced for that. Clayton Cowles does the lettering. Now Frank Thierry, he did that new the Absolute Batman Arkham M book just came out. Man, that thing sold out quick. People are already charging like $40-50 for like the cover B. I was lucky I was able to get multiples of every cover. I might sell a few of them on eBay, make a couple bucks. I don't normally do that, but I think I need to start funding the hobby with the hobby itself. So I spend way too much money on books. Occupied France, weeks later. Maybe the war ain't going so well for the Skull if you can't afford lights. I mean, can it be darker in here? So they're ushering in all these prisoners. What is this? The Skull's idea of Easter? And then, bam. I guess they had replicated genetically the pods, so now they're testing them out on the guys. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to see the Skull's Easter Bunny looks like, and then whap, there comes the alien's tail. And there it is. The new queen. So I guess through genetically they were able to make their own somehow. And isn't that No, that's not Mota. What's his name? Armand Zola. Before he got turned into Armand Zola. We'll have to rein her in if she doesn't behave, as long as she continues to produce eggs, and we continue to produce specimens for those eggs, then I can release my new alien army. Upon the world, hail Hydra. Great looking skull. Not a bad look. And I like the alien. The artist did a good job. That's the Armand Zola from the movies. So I guess they took his likeness. And days later, they're in the woods. Dum Dum Dugan. And the crew here. You can see a village, and it's decimated. Look at all the bodies. Man, that must stink. That must be rank. So they're going around, wondering what the hell's going on in here. Sarge, over there. I found someone. Someone's alive, and it's a woman. Sent by Hydra, we were used as test subjects to breed whatever those things are. And sure enough, just as they walk up, the chest burster. So the baby alien's out. And then whap, slit. The shield cuts it in half. And we know who that is, right? Captain America, old school Captain America. And we don't need Captain America's help. Well, to answer the first part, you're fiddling with the gun, says otherwise. Fury, oh, that's Fury. Sergeant Fury before he got his eye gouged. We may have a genuine war of the worlds on our hands. Uncle Sam says otherwise. To be continued. Captain America 2. Not bad, man. You know, it's not gonna take over the world with its writing, but it's a fun read. I liked it. I enjoyed it. So part 2 will be coming up next in a few days. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it, and I will catch you on the next one.